Chef Eric Korsh from North End Grill in New York City. Hey man, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
So what are we gonna do today?
So today we're gonna be doing a Berkshire tomahawk pork chop.
Hell yeah. What is a tomahawk chop?
It's like the best of all worlds. You know, you have it's like a pork chop and the rib.
A very hands-on dish, I would imagine.
We get about a quarter pig in at a time. On the bandsaw, we portion the chops out of that piece.
Okay.
So we keep the rib bone long the whole way. The loin is here, so this would be your normal pork chop, and the belly is attached the whole way.
It's basically bacon, right?
Bacon is smoked, so this
Right.
would be fresh belly on the bone. Over a wood grill like this, the belly has an opportunity to lose a lot of that additional fat, so it crisps up.
So what's the first step you do with this?
Those chops go into a brine, which is salt, rosemary, thyme, black pepper, bay leaf, garlic, and water.
What's the seasoning process before we grill them?
You know, no salt, only pepper.
Because obviously there's enough salt from being in the brine for so long.
Exactly right.
The grill you're now this is like the wood is here, but the grills are actually able to move up and down in order to control the temperature.
Yeah, so we'll take piles of white oak, build the fire in the center of the grill, and we want to turn all of that fresh wood into coal.
Right.
And then we'll move the wood coals underneath the grills.
Let's do it.
All right, great. We have a nice hot fire here, so I might end up having to raise the grill a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you want it hot enough to get some good color, but it's also important that you go slow enough so that the fat in the belly renders out.
Right.
Okay, so if your fire's too hot, you know, you'll get all this wonderful color on the meat, but the fat won't be rendered out. It won't be like crisp.
What temperature would you say it is right here where we're standing?
Right here, I don't know, it's probably about 130, 140, something like that.
The guy that mans this grill all night long.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. I hope you give him lots of beers at the end of his shift.
Well, yeah. Another thing to be considerate of is the loin itself. Because the loin is so lean, this area here, you want to be careful that you don't overcook it.
Probably easy to do that if you're rendering slow.
It is. You can kind of see how the fat here is beginning to crisp. You know, if you smell that, you get that great, smells like, you know, kind of wood and rendered pork fat.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice, you know.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
I heard a rumor that this is a technique that you actually went out of state to learn a little bit about.
Yeah, that rumor is true. So when I started, I tried it a lot of different ways. So we did some research, and you know, there are two LA restaurants, Oria Bestia and then also Chispaca. They both do a tomahawk pork chop. So they provided, you know, a fair bit of inspiration in terms of getting this done.
It's pretty cool when New Yorkers are you know, learning from chefs in LA.
So many talented people out there.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, I'm gonna break open this bottle of wine we're gonna taste.
Great.
So, you know, traditionally I think people think of, you know, a big pork chop, maybe I'll do like, you know, big like Napa Valley Cabernet or something big and bold with any sort of grilled meats. But for me, I'm a big believer in pork, and, you know, it's kind of the other white meat, right? Isn't that what we were growing up believing?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think white wine and pork can be an awesome combination. And being the history that pork has with German food, I think German wine can be really great. So I brought for us to drink with this kind of an off-dry Riesling from the Mosel. Zilliken is their producer. Pretty old school producer. 2010 cabinet from them. So we'll see. And basically in the Mosel, it's a super cool climate with a lot of really slaty soil. So the wines have really intense acidity.
Right.
And as a result, the winemakers will often leave a little bit of sugar in the wine to kind of balance out that rugged acidity, because otherwise, you know, it can be a little hard. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, this will go nicely.
Yeah, I think so. It still has like richness.
It's nice and bright too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. So it's been about 12 minutes, 13 minutes maybe now, and they look really beautiful.
Well, it smells great. Wow.
Those are our chops.
That looks amazing. Color texture, you know, a little bit of char.
Nice mahogany.
That fat is kind of melted off.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're letting it rest, right? I think that's always kind of
a few minutes. Yeah.
And what's happening there? Like, what's the thought process behind letting meat rest?
Essentially, you know, when you're grilling something or roasting something in the oven, it's technically like cooking by concentration. And so all the juices in the meat kind of head to the center. And when you let it rest, all those juices kind of head back out to the extremities. If you don't do that and you cut into it immediately, all of that juice is going to flow out onto the cutting board and you're going to lose it.
So you're going to have a dry piece of meat essentially.
Exactly. So the first thing I do is I'll separate this bone here and remove that entirely. And then we'll take the loin off in one piece like that, and then we'll take the belly off. So you have kind of three parts.
You can just see how juicy it is. It's great. Thanks to the resting, I guess.
Exactly. And here's the loin. And then you see the loin is much leaner, but still juicy.
Yeah. And so there is some fat on the outside of the loin too. That's totally cool to eat that, right?
Everything.
But you know, with pork chops, they think, oh, it's got to be lean. I don't want to eat the fat. For me, I feel like you're like wasting the best part if you're tossing that off.
See that?
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
And what we'll do with each layer, we'll just do a little fennel pollen over the top.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then what we'll do is just take some grapes, warm them on the wood grill, just for a moment.
Even more wine friendly now, I love it.
You grill them just enough so that the grapes themselves are just like ready to burst.
Yeah.
You know, and then for every little piece of belly, you just have a little grape, and it's like very nice.
Yeah, that's
play like back and forth.
Again, I think that makes this even more of a like genius pairing for a Riesling, especially a Riesling that's got a little bit of sweetness like this one does.
It's a good combination of lean and fat, and then on the belly side, you have that back and forth.
Fat and fatter, yeah. And that's it, and it's just dig in, right?
Just dig in.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let's see how my pairing worked.
Oh man.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that works great.
I think that's the thing is perfect example of a very vibrant yet elegant styled wine. There's a lot of vibrancy in this dish, but it's very much about the pork. And then the fattiness that you get that coats your mouth. I feel like with that acidity, it really does kind of wipes it off and gives you.
Exactly. I mean, the grapes almost get you there in terms of a palate cleanser, and then the wine just brings it on home.
And then you want more.
And then you want more.
Well, I'm glad my philosophy of white wine and grilled meat is working. Cheers, man. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Amazing dish. So I can just get in there with my hands, right? I mean, who needs utensils,
Bite
right?
that bone.
Forget about it. I'm embarrassed to admit it. But I think the one thing you want to do is, I wouldn't overspend if you're gonna buy a wine that you're just gonna like turn into a cocktail. I wouldn't go super cheap because you don't want it to give you a headache. So there's a balance, and I think it depends on your budget.